and you are a super seller. Congratulations, you got that.
Thank you.
That means you've got 100% positive feedback on all your transactions.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that status?
I think it's being able to answer people's questions, not only quite quickly, but quite comprehensively. So when I've been interested in other people's businesses in the past, I've sent them messages and they've been like very short, like one word answers. And I think people just appreciate the bit of extra like effort you put into the messages. And I've got a bit of background in customer service, so I've sort of understand it from that point of view and using that sort of skill set just to differentiate us between other sellers. And being able to be trustworthy on the platform as well.
Welcome to another edition of Humans of Flippa, the series where we talk to real-life buyers of digital assets. Today's guest is Eddie Eastman. He's another Flippa certified super seller with some amazing statistics. Eddie has totaled 590 transactions, reaching $120,000. He's also the founder of a company called Startup Streams, which helps entrepreneurs build their business portfolios. It's a classic right place, right time story that is sure to inspire. So sit back and enjoy my chat with Eddie Eastman. Eddie Eastman, welcome to Humans of Flippa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. How would you describe what it is you do? Would you say you're a business broker or a digital entrepreneur? How do you describe it?
When say we're a business broker, what we do is we essentially help people get started in e-commerce by essentially creating like a business in a box. So you get a website, you get products to sell, you get the master resale rights to sell those products. You get the domain, it's all hooked up. So as soon as you purchase a website on Flippa, we can send you the invites to the website. You'll then gain access to the website, and then you have a fully set, ready to go, pre-made business. So then people can just start to market it, which is like the main business activity for our businesses. So we try to keep all of our businesses to sell digital products. Just because it's probably the easiest product for people to manage. So it's very good for like a first time product to sell. Whereas shipping things in from China or doing drop shipping or having to worry about inventory, that can be quite overwhelming for some people when they start off. So we're just trying to make it as easy as possible for people to get stuck in with a business. And some people run them with their friends and with their families. And we've had parents buy businesses for kids before to like get them into e-commerce. So it's quite a range of reasons why people buy our stores. But it's mainly because people don't know where to start. They come to us, they like what they see, they purchase one of our businesses, and then they just go from there, really.
Yeah, amazing. So what is the origin of Startup Streams? Was this just a single idea that then just kept on growing, or how did it get to where it is now?
It was 2 years ago. So I've been trading on Flippa full time for almost 2 years. It was August 2019, and at the time I was actually training to join the British Army. So totally different.
Yeah, wow.
And whilst I was training to do that, I was just working a manual job in a warehouse, just to help keep me fit. I wanted a job, like a manual labour job, just to help keep me fit whilst I was doing the training. And unfortunately the warehouse burnt down. It was one of those warehouses which is primarily run by robots.
Okay.
So it's like these robots running around on rails, and one of those caught fire and spread the fire around to the rest of the warehouse, and the whole thing essentially blew up. Wow. So they didn't really know what to do with the staff, so they just said, okay, we're going to continue paying you guys full wages. And I was like, okay, great, I don't need to be in the UK anymore, I'm just going to go I'm going to go traveling for as long as I can if you guys are paying me. And I said, yeah, that's fine. So next stop to Bali, and met a girl here. I was only going to be here for 30 days. Yeah. And met a girl on day 3, and then didn't really want to leave. And then I was just thinking, okay, I need to do a business which I can sell in the UK or the US, which I can run from Bali. So it was a classic case of pulling out a notepad, pros and cons, what am I good at, what can I do, what's my skill set. So I've always enjoyed designing websites. I'm sort of graphic designer by trade. So I knew I wanted to do something graphic design related. And then I came across a YouTube video about people selling on Flippa. I created a Flippa account, I think maybe 7 or 8 years ago, which is when I sold one of my businesses off for, I think $5,000. So quite a while ago. That was a lot of money at the time. And then we just sort of progressed on the same account from there. And then, now then we expanded up to a team of six designers, all making starter stores, all with products to sell.
That's incredible. So you were able to actually shift yourself overseas, which I'm jealous that you're in Bali right now. While you're in really cold Melbourne. So what was the process of actually establishing that team and doing the recruitment and the upskilling and the training? Was that hard doing that in a foreign country?
Not really. So I'm very fortunate to have come to Bali because it's very like tourist centric. So there's 4 million people on the island, and I think they get 8 million tourists a year. Obviously not during COVID, but and English is one of the main languages on the island. Okay. So a lot of the people who work, so say they're graphic or website designers, would still be fluent in English because most people who are working in those fields are working for hotels and tourist related businesses. So I never found the language barrier to really be a problem. Obviously my girlfriend's Indonesian, she's fluent in English, so that obviously helps a lot with finding the right people. But with COVID going on, it is sort of a cloud silver lining. So a lot of people who had the skill set I wanted were made redundant because there were no tourists on the island. I think at one stage it was down to like 5% usual occupancy. So a lot of people who are graphic designers, web designers lost their jobs. Fortunate for me that I was able to hire some of my girlfriend's friends who were graphic designers and web designers, which they were obviously very grateful for, that I was starting up and expanding a business in Bali, because not a lot of people were expanding in Bali, obviously because it's tourist trade. Yeah. So yeah, that's sort of how I went about doing that.
Yeah, amazing. And you were touching on COVID just before. How did 2020 affect you as a business? A lot of online businesses or digital businesses had a really great year, surprisingly. But how did 2020 go for you?
So when it sort of kicked off in, I had COVID twice now. I've had it on the first wave, like the main, like the first strain. And I had to, it was sort of before all the systems were in place and no one really knew what was going on. So I checked myself into an Indonesian government run hospital, not really knowing what the outcome was going to be. So they put me in an isolation ward for 5 or 6 days without Wi-Fi. So that was a bit difficult to run an internet business from there. But at the same time, the sales died down because there's a lot of uncertainty. People didn't really know what they were going to do. A lot of people were becoming unemployed, and just after that lull, things started to pick up again, and then around probably mid 2020, things started to increase in sales month on month. I think more people being unemployed, way more time at home than they perhaps usually would, maybe want to learn some more skills. Off the top of my head, I think I remember CEO of Flippa sending an email out saying that we're seeing a lot more traffic at the moment, so we were certainly seeing a similar sort of trend with selling our stores. So people being stuck at home, unemployed, wanting to learn new skills. People were coming to us with our starter stores, and then we've just sort of been going up since from there.
It's quite lucky, really. So many people, myself included, I was working in travel. I lost my job and I didn't really see a future, so I had to find other ways to get that income. So really useful that Startup Streams was there for those people to actually get them back on their feet. And I'm sure once they're in that funnel, once they're in that community, then it just grows on from there, and they've actually set up a whole new career. So luckily with crisis, there is opportunity. So you must be thankful that people were actually able to find Startup Streams, and it's helped you get out of 2020 relatively unscathed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we're in a stage now where I'm no longer doing much of the design work. So we've got like a design team and a development team. And the websites which we're looking to bring out later on in this year are going to be, we're calling them premium at the moment. So still all going to be starter stores, but they're going to be like top notch, better than anything we've made so far. So really excited about the products we're able to launch later on in the year.
So how do you use Flippa with Startup Streams? What's the connection there? You list the websites on Flippa, and that is a way to bring people into Startup Streams?
The business is predominantly on Flippa. So we're using Flippa. We're basically like a super user. Obviously, we've got the super seller status, but we're using like Flippa every hour of the day, basically sending messages to and from customers. So having that message system is obviously very helpful. And then we're just using like basically all of the different tools available to us on the platform, just to help us find new customers. So yeah, we're just basically using the platform as any other people who are using like marketplaces to sell the websites. Yeah.
And you are a super seller. Congratulations, you got that.
Thank you.
That means you've got 100% positive feedback on all your transactions.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that status?
I think it's being able to answer people's questions, not only quite quickly, but quite comprehensively. So when I've been interested in other people's businesses in the past, I've sent them messages and they've been like very short, like one word answers. And I think people just appreciate the bit of extra like effort you put into the messages. And I've got a bit of background in customer service, so I've sort of understand it from that point of view and using that sort of skill set just to differentiate us between other sellers. And being able to be trustworthy on the platform as well.
Well, it definitely looks like you're kicking goals. So Eddie Eastman from Startup Streams, thank you so much for joining me on Humans of Flippa.
So thanks very much for having me, Brad. Nice to talk to you, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.